Alright guys, Che just dropped his new album, Say So Says, and it's making a lot of noise to say the least. Some people hate it, others love it, but you can't deny it's what everyone is talking about. You can even argue more than Destroy Lonely. The album came with a Lyrical Lemonade music video that's currently number 20 on trending. Keep in mind, they haven't really put on an artist like Che in quite a while. So this is quite significant. It's also Che's debut studio album, and the craziest part to me is that there are a lot of Opium fans who are saying that Che's music is better than Lone's, which is crazy considering how loyal and how much they glaze Opium. But anyways, all of this kind of makes it look like Che has a shot to really elevate his career and stamp himself as one of the top dogs commercially in the scene. You know, maybe become as big as someone like Osama-san, Netspend, you know, or if not, even break out of it, such as maybe Rich Amiri, but with Che's sound, that's a bit of a long shot. Regardless, I want to give you a sort of hybrid between an album review as well as where I think Che's career is going past this release. So I'm going to give you a little context on this album drop, people's reactions, and then whether or not I think he's going to go mainstream. Alright, so we have to understand where Che came from. He dropped a song called Agenda, and he had a couple of like TikTok songs, and honestly I didn't really like them, but they were pretty big and it is what it is. Slowly from there, he began dropping and he kind of curated his own sound, image, community, and in the end of 2023, Che signed a deal with 10K Projects underneath Warner, and I guess that's when the little engine has been behind him. Anyways, after he signed, he went on a great run with singles. His song Bay was really good. Miley Cyrus was also not as good, but pretty good. Pizza Time, amazing. And because neither of the songs missed, in fact, they probably all gained him a decent amount of fans, there wasn't a better time to drop an album for Che than now. And he was teasing it for quite a while. There were plenty of snippets. Che has a decent fan base, so you know, people were definitely interested. But I would be lying if I told you that this album would be just as talked about as Destroy Lonely. So anyways, let's get into it. And one thing I do want to shout out Che for is he produced most of the songs on the album. Some of them are even solo produced. In fact, some of the craziest beats are produced by him. So, you know, whenever an artist is very involved production-wise, you know, you just gotta tip your hat off to them. So let's get into what people had to say on Twitter. And the reviews are very mixed. So Kirko posted Che's album saying it's out now, and here are the comments. This is his best album, no funny shit. Amazing, and I'm only 5 songs in. He put his heart into this, no BS. I paused my Destroy Lonely to play Che instead. If you don't know, I paused my Destroy Lonely to be here. It's like this shirt meme. Someone else said, think I'm starting to get old for some music, not gonna lie. Derek, this guy said, that Che album is horrible. And it's not Glock 40 Spaz, who they also said, but it's pretty much about Che. Because if you listen to Che's music not his music, but the album he just dropped, Say So Says, I wouldn't say it's like experimental, but the production is definitely out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, some people are just not gonna like it. And someone said, he turned on that Che. Another person, Dazed Within, said, sorry, but this song is awful. I honestly really liked the song that was on Lyrical Lemonade, I Rot. So Che's been working with like this videographer / editor, Noah So Cold, and his edits are absolutely insane. And I feel like Lyrical Lemonade's high production mixed with his editing just honestly made for one of the best Lyrical Lemonade videos in, I'd say, like the last 2 years. I'm not talking about the song, just literally the video is just so well done. However, there were a lot of people that weren't really happy with it. One fan said, there's no vision to be found. This tape will come and go and most likely be outstreamed by Dom Corleo. Okay, people forget that High C exists. Listen to some real music, get real. And the original post says, this is the whole lot of red of our current scene. Che is truly a visionary. So I guess this fan saw it as a slap in the face to his favorite artist, or one of his favorite artists, High C. So first of all, saying it's gonna get outstreamed by Dom Corleo is just incorrect. You know, with 10K Projects behind this album, with the amount of hype that there is, it's just that's not gonna happen. Honestly, I think Dom Corleo made a huge mistake dropping the day he did, because Destroy Lonely, Che, Glock 40 Spaz, Dom Corleo. Do you really think people are gonna listen to 4 albums? No. I know I'm not. And that's no offense to Dom Corleo. I'll check out his music later. It's just all these artists are way more interesting. So I wouldn't agree with that point. The next thing I think he's saying is, hey, this is just too different to stream that well, to go that crazy. And honestly, I disagree. I think that the production is very fun. That's something I really liked about this album. It's a really fun album. You know what I mean? It's like, it's some shit you would just turn on in your room. You know, it's like cool, it's just a really cool album. That's what I really like about it. So, you know, my thoughts. The last thing he said though, this album will just, this tape, it is his studio album, so I'm gonna say that. His album will just come and go and most likely be outstreamed by, you know, other projects. I don't think it'll just come and go. I think, you know, Che's last album, you know, Che doesn't really drop. He hasn't been dropping that much. I think he's just gonna let it marinate. And I think with the direction things are going, it's gonna age well, especially if he follows it up with even better music. So yeah, I disagree with this person. However, I also disagree with this other guy, Tell Nobody. And you know, calling it the whole lot of red of our current scene is kind of crazy because people aren't calling it ass like that. And I don't think it has this crazy, it's gonna have this crazy narrative shift. I think it's just gonna stay the same. I also don't think it's gonna have the influence that Whole Lotta Red had. So, you know what I mean? I just think it's a good album. Playboy Cordy said, I'm sorry, it needs to be said, blah, blah, blah. Someone else said, formal apology to Che. I didn't know you had the potential to make good music. Great album. Someone else said, Che went to Twitter punching bag to an actual respectable artist. And apparently Cole Bennett wasn't at the music video shoot. I don't know why I had that tweet saved. Anyways, what really stood out to me was how talked about Che's album was. You know, it was really up there with Destroy Lonely and Glock 40 Spaz. It might not have streamed as well, but it was up there. So, you know, just the fact that people are saying that Che's album was better than Destroy Lonely's, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, is huge for Che because it literally puts them on the same level. Obviously not, you know, commercially or what they've accomplished, but they're now, you could consider in the same league of interest at least. Obviously, Che is not going to sell as well as Destroy Lonely. Like, that would be crazy. And Gas Baby, the Twitter titan, said, never in a million years I think Che would drop a better album than Destroyed Lonely. So anyways, that brings me to this conversation. Che going mainstream. So I don't know if Che's gonna go mainstream because you gotta understand mainstream is like huge. You gotta have like a hit. But I think he's definitely getting some good looks. And I think that he's becoming like this. You gotta understand, sometimes artists are cool or, you know, they're unique or whatever, but people, and they're making great music and they have their little fan base and people are messing with them. But until they become like adopted by the masses and there's like this artist that, you know, has been given this public stamp of approval, like, all right, this guy is an artist that you can listen to and it's not like weird. It's like, oh, this is what all the people are listening to. That's when they go up. And, you know, Casher Mike posted this tweet, yo, turn on that new Che, and it's like a bot. So he's kind of just saying everyone's just listening to Che. You know, another person who reacted to the album was Kai Cenat. And you could kind of tell he's just reacting to it just because, like, you know, seems like that's what's cool and he kind of has to. And the reason for that is because he just like didn't say anything. But at the end of the day, it's huge exposure for Che. A lot of people are also calling it brain rot music. I honestly just think it's like, I would just say it's just like music for chronically online people, which is most of the people who listen to this type of music. Hyperpop Daily labeled it as gift talk music. And something I've noticed is a lot of Playboy Cardi fans are really fucking with Che. I guess they just align really well. However, I did see some really weird takes. Someone said, this is a shitty Osama Sun clone, bruh. Another person said that Trippie Redd needs more credit because of a certain beat that Che did. Anyways, I do want to give a couple songs that I really liked off the project. Get, I think I have to censor the second word. Enjoy Your Life, Pissy Coffee, Cut Off Your Hands. Cut Off Your Hands is so good. That snippet, when he first previewed it, I was like playing it back and over and over and over again. Children Shouldn't Play With Things. That's another one that's really good. But yeah, there's some other songs in there that are also cool. Those are just my personal favorites. He's also doing a tour, so shout out to bro. Now he's about to tour and go crazy. Definitely gonna get paid a nice amount. But anyways, I just think that Che's career progression is very cool to see, and honestly, you gotta respect it because back in 2021, nobody would have thought Che would have been the biggest out of all these artists. And you know, he technically isn't the biggest. I guess you could say it's like Rich Amiri and like Tana, but I don't think he would be like up there like he is now. You know, most of those artists fell off, and Che, he actually was cursed with these TikTok hits. You know, of course that put him on, but at the end of the day, when you get a TikTok hit that early into your career, usually it just destroys you. But Che kind of like stayed down, kept releasing, improved his music, had somewhat of like this creative direction. Even like a lot of rappers like Soser, he was cool with, like close with Jesser, I don't know how to say his name, JSSR for a while. I don't know if they still are. He really like curated his image very well. He did everything right, and you know the stuff he did with Nate CXO, really good, and just had his own like creative kind of vision for his music. I think that's what really separated himself from a lot of those other artists, because a lot of those guys were just like, I don't know, they're just very basic, or their music wasn't that good, or they signed so people thought they were bigger than they were. And yeah, you know, Che beat most of them, so good for him. Anyways, let me know what you think of the album. I personally thought it's not like an album that I listen front to back and be like, wow, this is just such an album. It's just like one of those ones, but it definitely has some good songs on there. It's a very fun album, as I said too. You know, so tracks, so good shit. Yeah, good shit with Che. Not gonna lie, like he snapped. You know what I mean, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.